Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be talking about something that I mentioned in the CTS wardrobe group quite a bit, and it's something I call my Fast Access Toolkit. And basically what I'm going to show you today is how to do some more automation with wardrobe and your inventory to make it a little bit easier to manage things and to add and remove things very quickly in ways that are maybe not necessarily outfit related. A lot of times with wardrobe we think about putting on an outfit or putting on a particular set of clothing or some hair or some makeup or whatever it is. But today what I want to talk about is sort of the other things that you can do with it. And I've mentioned this from time to time, but this is the sort of the methodology that I use to kind of further automate things. And I did talk about some automation a couple weeks ago in my video, and I'll link that in the description. But in my other video I talked kind of about using gestures and open collar and a couple of other things to automate how you can do stuff in Second Life. And some of that you're going to see again today in my Fast Access Toolkit. It just sort of all plays together. Anyway, so let's go ahead and jump in and get started. What I'm going to use as an example today is setting up all of the HUDs and tools that I want to have for when I start taking a picture. Something really simple like that. But this methodology could be used really for anything, and we'll talk through that. Okay, so what is my Fast Access Toolkit? So let's jump into my inventory because I think that's where this is going to be the most useful. And I'm up here in my RLV folder. I'm just going to close this down so you can see it. I'm up here in my RLV folder. And underneath here I have a folder that I've called Fast Access Toolkit. And I've started it with a period, and that's to hide this folder from collar visibility and just to make sure that it doesn't show up normally. But you don't necessarily have to do that. But I call mine the Fast Access Toolkit, and that is literally just the name I've given it. There's nothing special about that name. You could call it whatever you want. But hopefully you'll see by the end sort of how I use this and why I use this. And then underneath Fast Access Toolkit I have some other folders. I've got automations, which are like just sort of automated tasks I want to do. Mouthies, which are things that end up going in my mouth basically. My gum, my lollipops, you saw some of those before in that other video I did. Add-ons, these are like collections of things that I want to add to my avatar. So I've got one here already for all the HUDs that I have when I work on breeding my Mirus. And we're going to add another add-on today for photography stuff. And then I have just really simple HUDs as well. So the Catwa Animation HUD, the Catwa Main HUD, all of these extra Catwa HUDs are there. Fashion Spy, the Lara Matre HUD, and things like that. So all of these go here into this one folder, and really these are just collections of links, right? So these aren't the main item that I have in my wardrobe. So I've got another entry for this Catwa bubblegum in my wardrobe. This is just a link here so that I can get to it faster without having to dig through stuff maybe as much as I normally would. And then also I can use these for different automations and things like that as I go through. So that's what these are here. And what we're going to do today is we're going to set up and do a new add-on, like I said, for photography HUDs. So the main thing you need to keep in mind with these, like anything in wardrobe, is that the name for this that you want to give has to be unique. If it's not unique, then it becomes not fast anymore, right? So that's why if you look at my HUDs here, I have sort of kind of odd names for them that really don't match up. And my goal here is to make sure that nothing duplicates anywhere else. So I'm going to come here, I'm going to create a new folder, and in this folder we're going to go ahead and create one. I'm going to call it Photog HUDs, or Photog HUDs. Yeah, there we go. And this is going to be where I'm going to put all my, actually let's not even call it HUDs, let's just call it stuff, because I think it's going to be all HUDs, but maybe it won't be. Anyway, so here's my photography stuff. And now normally, if I go into gadgets here, I can find the things that make this up. So I want to add into here my skylight HUD. This is what I use to control my wind lights and my camera angles when I'm taking pictures. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that. And I'm going to go ahead and paste it into here as a link. So now I've got one link in here to the skylight HUD. And then I also want to come down here to photography because there's a couple other things I want to add whenever I'm taking a picture. And the main one is going to be my Pose Anywhere HUD and my bento poses. Go ahead and copy that. And I'm going to go ahead and paste that as a link. And I haven't been doing a great job of keeping that up, but I really need to, so I'll go ahead and put it in there, and hopefully that will remind me to do it. And then one last thing, I've also got in here under Happy Dispatch this multi-bento pose HUD that I've been using. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a copy of this. So I'll copy that, and I'll paste that as a link. So now anytime I'm getting set up to do pictures, I want to have my poses, my pose overrides, and my skylight HUD. Okay, and so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go copy this so I have that with me. Okay, all right, so let's see how this looks in my wardrobe. Let me jump over there quick. So this is my wardrobe, and here's my Fast Access Toolkit. And what you're going to see here is that Fast Access Toolkit really is nothing more than a tag inside of my wardrobe. And these are all the ones I've set up right now. I'm actually kind of going through and redoing it as part of this video and just to clean it up because it's gotten to be a bit messy. But these are the ones I have set up right now, and I think I'll probably have about 30 or 40 of these by the time I'm done getting these all back in. You'll see that, or you'll notice that I've got a picture for each one of these, and the picture is really important because the name sometimes is, you know, meant to be short and very unique, and so it's not always 100% descriptive. So I've created a really simple Photoshop template that I can go into and create these quick images just for this purpose. So let's go ahead and do that really quick, and I'll jump over here to Photoshop, and what I've done is I've just saved this this box, and it's just a 1024 by 1024 picture. And I have this saved, so I can kind of come in here really quick, and I can just replace this with whatever I want it to say. Photography HUDs. Okay, and then I can move it down a little bit so it's more centered, however you want to do it. And then I'm just going to go up here, quick file. I'm going to do a quick export to PNG, and I'm going to go ahead and name this with the same name of the folder that I saved in inventory. Alright, so now I can come back here and I can go to import and upload an image, and I can find my photog stuff. Alright, so I'm going to leave that title the same because that's what's going to match what's in inventory, and I'm going to give this the Fast Access Toolkit. And then I actually have some sub tags that I add to some of these just to help divide these up, so as I get more and more of these, they'll be easier to find. So this is going to be one of my add-ons, and it's got HUDs in it. And then I just include remarks. This sets me up to take photos in world. Includes my skylight, pose, and pose override HUDs. And that's really all I need. So I'll go ahead and click submit. And that's got it added in there now, right? And so now, anytime I want to put these on, I can come up here and just click on my wear button. And when I jump back over to Second Life, there we go. It's going to add all of these on here. And I need to kind of move these a little bit. There we go. So it's got all three of those, my pose HUD, it's got my skylight HUD, and it's got my pose override HUD over here that I like using. And then if I am done taking a picture, I can just come up here and click this icon, the takeoff icon, and they'll be gone. And that's kind of what I mean by fast access. And so the idea is that I can set up these either individual HUDs that I can add and remove very quickly. I don't like having a lot of HUDs on my screen. It can slow the viewer down. It takes up space that I'd rather be using to see in world, things like that. So this is just a really fast, easy way to add and remove HUDs or really anything from your avatar in game. One more thing I want to show you really quick. So you'll notice that I have my Fast Access Toolkit set up here as a favorite tag. And to set something as a favorite tag, really all you need to do is find the tag and click the star that's next to it. Let me remove both those. If I click the star, it's going to add that to the Fast Access Toolkit to the favorite tags line. When you do that, you can very easily, get to this tag. But the other thing you can do, and it's something that I do, is if I click on Preferences and I come to, see, is it under Miscellaneous? Yeah, it's under Miscellaneous, and it says Show Items on Start. And it says Show all items having the favorited tag when loading the wardrobe web page. So I only have one favorited tag, Fast Access Toolkit, and if I press F5 on my web browser to reload that page, you'll notice that wardrobe doesn't come up empty. It actually comes up to my Fast Access Toolkit by default. And so this stuff is right here and ready for me to work with right away. Now, one thing I'm kind of considering, and I haven't done it yet, but there are some of these that I use way, way more than others. One of those is the Maitreya Lara body HUD. I switch this thing on and off all the time. And so I'm kind of thinking I may come into these and use the 5-star rating and actually rate the ones that I use a whole lot with 5 stars and maybe drop them down. And that way I can use the rating sort up here to kind of get to just the ones that I really want to get to right at the top really quickly. Since the date and the name and stuff don't really give me access to the ones that are most important to me really fast. But this is what I mean by the Fast Access Toolkit. And as you can see, if you look through here, a lot of these are just HUDs that I want to add and remove. Others of them are kind of specialty case things. So for example, I don't use body physics all the time, but I want to have access to them if I need them. And so I actually have a folder, and it's not inside of my Fast Access Toolkit folder, it's somewhere else. But it's got a listing of all the different physics layers that I have collected. And I've got my standard one set here. So I can either click the first button to add the standard physics, I can click the second button to select, or if I just want to remove my physics, I can quickly take them off here. Same thing holds true for my ankle locks, so I can add and remove them very quickly. If you've ever had the issue where the LOD on your body breaks down on teleport and your mesh body kind of looks broken or cracked, I use this right here to very quickly turn off and then turn back on my mesh body. And if we look at that in inventory and come up here to automations, Lara body fix, you can see I just have a link in there to my mesh body. So when I click this, I can quickly remove the body and then quickly add it back on, which fixes that LOD kind of cracked, broken body issue very quickly. Anyway, this is my Fast Access Toolkit, and again, the whole idea behind this is to start to think about automating processes via wardrobe, via the tools that are built into Second Life, and so on. These functions, these tools, can also then be used with things like the open collar commands and the gestures that I talked about in that other video. So, for example, if I come here to my HUDs, you can see that I've got this word here, Lara HUD, and right now my Lara body HUD is on, but I can use this now to come into local chat, and I can use this, and I can use the name, and I can go ahead and remove that Lara HUD just with a simple command. Buttercup Princess BP, which is my prefix, -- Lara HUD. And I can do the same thing to add it back in. I can go ahead and wear that, and it puts it on. And this is why we want to have unique things. And let's say I also wanted to add my Catwa main HUD. So that's actually going to add over here in a second, I hope. There it goes. And let's say I also wanted to go ahead and add my animation HUD. So that's going to add over here as well. There we go. So now I've got all of these different HUDs on the screen. And let's say I've gone through and I'm getting dressed. And I wanted to have, you know, my main HUD on so that I could adjust my makeup layers. I wanted to have my animation HUD on because I wanted to do a particular set of facial animations today. I had my Lara body HUD on because I wanted to use that for getting dressed. Now I've got all these HUDs on, my screen's all filled up. Another nice thing about this is that this My HUDs folder up here can actually be used in the same way with the collar. Princess, I'm going to do minus My HUDs, and what that's going to do is it's going to say take off everything that's in the My HUDs folder and everything that's underneath it. And so I can do that, and now all my HUDs are gone, and I'm back to nothing and ready to go. So these sorts of automations could be used with the new CTS wardrobe rulebook. They can be used just with your collar, they can be typed in, they can be used in lots and lots of different ways. And that's why I have my Fast Access Toolkit. Again, this is all sort of, to me, about exploration and kind of understanding how the tools work and then what you can do to leverage them for the way that you work in Second Life. I think that's all I wanted to cover. You know, this is one of those features that's very much about me, right? And it's probably one, if you adapt some of these rules to how you work, will be very much about you and the types of things that you do. If you do a lot of role play, if you do a lot of adult stuff in Second Life, really anything where you need a custom sort of set of things that want to be on, you know, this is a great way to automate some of that, so that when you get to, you know, a particular sim, you get into a particular situation, you can very quickly adapt your avatar to meet that situation. And so hopefully this is useful and kind of makes you think a little bit about how can I take, you know, what I already have in my inventory, what I already have in my wardrobe, and extend it by adding a few links and adding a new entry and maybe using Photoshop to create, you know, a very quick, you know, generic image that can be used with wardrobe to start to automate and work with some of these things. All right, almost 20 minutes in. That's kind of a long video for a quick tip, but I wanted to get this out there because I do talk about it a lot, and I wanted people to see what I was talking about when I mentioned my Fast Access Toolkit. Hope you liked the video. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I'm getting tons and tons of subscribers, already over 500, which is just incredible to me. You know, click the like button if you like this video. Please click the bell to subscribe to my channel for notifications so that when I post new content, you get notified. Until next time, thanks for watching and happy wardrobing.